Hello there, and welcome to another Thoughts and Opinions video. Today we'll be doing Generation 4 of Pokemon, which houses the games Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon Platinum, Pokemon Heart Gold, and Pokemon Soul Silver. Generation 4 was one of the biggest regions you ever had to explore, that's for sure. Sinnoh was literally one of the biggest regions, on par with that with the new one, Galar. That shit, I still think Sinnoh is still the biggest region of all time. Dude, how much and how far you had to travel. Now let's get into the nitty gritty of the gameplay basics and all that shit. How do I say this? Generation 4 was slow paced. I mean, sure, by the time of the Generation 2 remakes, they kind of sped up a bit, but starting with Diamond and Pearl, everything was just slow. It was really, really slow. Story progressed slowly, game speed progressed slowly. You even walked slowly and served slowly. Oh my god, it was painful to go through. We're the generation that introduced now up to 493 Pokemon at the time? I really expected better from this one, to be honest. Especially from the games that actually gave you for the first time ever, a physical and special split, which is one of the most major highlights of this entire generation. They made some moves physical, some moves special, instead of some types physical and some types special. That whole thing was just weird between the first three generations, but the Generation 4 fixed it, but unfortunately not enough could save it from where it's at. Let's do the story. I mean, the story was subpar at best. You were stopping Team Galactic from awakening either in Diamond, the legendary Palkia, or in Pearl, the legendary Palkia. Dialga or Palkia. Sorry if I said Palkia twice, I don't know if I said Palkia twice. And if you were in Platinum, you got the best of both worlds, as the main mascot is Giratina in that one. And Heart Gold and Soul Silver reintroduced the Hoenn region. God, why do I want to keep calling Johto Hoenn? Sorry. Generation 4 housed the remakes that reintroduced Johto. Oh my god. So let's see what they did. They added a new Wi-Fi connection, which will allow you to actually trade with people around the world now. Which was actually pretty decent, since President Fire and Leaf Green perfected the whole, okay, we got wireless functions now. Now what do we do with that? Now what do we do to expand with Fire and Leaf Green? Because the first two generations, you only had to use link cable, especially then during Ruby and Sapphire, you still had to use link cable. But when Fire and Leaf Green came out, they gave you the option of having a wireless thing that you could place onto the back instead, and trade and battle there with that on the back, which was actually pretty neat, to be honest. It actually worked pretty well. I mean, I could walk to home with somebody side by side, and I'm Pokemon battling them. Seriously, that was like one of the best adventures they ever made for Generation 3. But let's get back on the Generation 4. Generation 4, like I said, introduced the Wi-Fi connection, which allowed you to trade online with people and battle online with actual people, which means you didn't have to go to your friend's house to actually have an actual Pokemon battle, or bring your Game Boy with you to school or something like that, which is what I did countless times in Generation 3 since I was in high school in Generation 3. In Generation 4 is the first time I marked as an adult, and I still didn't understand too much of what the hell this game was trying to set or do. So therefore, my entire playthrough of Sinnoh was long, agonizing, painful. Couple of the fact that Generation 4 took 4 years to end off. Let's just say I did not have a great time in Generation 4. My day cycles were back again from Generation 2, which Generation 3 never decided to use for some reason, which was weird. They used a clock function, but there was no way to tell it was night and day unless by the times you wanted it to be. Unless you looked at the clock on the wall. Simon Pro was literally the first game where it was just a card. You didn't have to worry about the game restarting over on you this time. Major improvement on that. Okay, characters like Jimmy's weren't really one-dimensional anymore. We got some character behind him, including the champion this time, which was a woman, which was the first time actually we had an actual female champion. Open arms with that one. Because all we had was pretty much stinky, gross-ass guys beforehand. Just kidding. I'm insulting my own gender. Holy crap. Well, anyway. Besides trading online and stuff, I'm probably gonna... They also had, like, I'm probably gonna butcher what each generation introduced and all stuff, so kind of bear with me. They actually had an underground, which is where I spent most of my time, to be honest. Just digging out orbs and fossils and items, and I had too much fun on that. Why did I have too much fun on that? Why did I play Capture the Flag 50 times in order to get a platinum flag, in order to get a star on my card? God, I did stupid things. Like I said, the region was giant, and depending on where you used the underground bag, you can actually go into different parts and sections of the underground, which in itself was actually pretty neat. Although there really wasn't much to that after that. Let's see, graphics were way enhanced, but because of that, game's performance and speed slowed down, so gameplay was brought down as fact of graphics. Characters were better than before, and how's my first really liked person, Candace, the 7th gym leader. She was actually one of my favorite characters, and I really much didn't have a favorite character before. I had a favorite Pokemon, but I didn't have a favorite character yet. So Candace came in, and one of my favorite Ice-type gym leaders of all time, might I add. And housed one of the best towns of all time, Snowpoint City. Really, I went so far as to now I'm an adult, Candace is now my waifu. So yeah, there's that as well. But she's only like number 2 now, thanks to another introduction, but we'll get to that another time, in another video. Let's see, what else? Besides, like I said, more stuff. Wi-Fi connection, all that other crap. I don't think they really introduced too much for me, besides the newer Pokemon and stuff. There was about too much. In the Heart Gold Soul Silver versions, they reintroduced it and actually put in a few more things, like the Pokeathlon, which was actually pretty neat. And in Platinum, and for Platinum, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver, they redid the Battle Frontier to their versions of Battle Frontier, which was actually pretty neat, but it really didn't win too much favor with me. The contests were brought back, and they got, oh god, the appeal section was the only thing saving it. You had to do dances and other crap. It was just so stupid. I mean, I still won all the contests after that, but that, oh god, it was just annoying. After game, there really wasn't too much of an after game. Besides capture legendaries and besides the Generation 2 being remade, you have to redo the whole Kanto region thing again in the Heart Gold and Soul Silver games, which that's back again. But even that, even having my home region in it, it still wasn't enough to save it in the end. Let's see, this is Wi-Fi battles, physical special split, underground, the bike returned. They had mechanics like the Pal Park, which could transfer your Pokemon from Generation 3 and above, which Generation 1 and 2 were their own things, so they remained in a separate closed-off area, so you couldn't catch Pokemon for those ones. Generation 3 to Generation 4. It was when Generation 3 is where they really started to go up into the generations now. So yeah, the Pal Park, which actually was pretty neat. It was cool, wasn't a bad idea, but to be honest, it could have been better. let's see, what else did I think of? Oh, there's one other thing I had in mind besides that PAL Park. Let's see. Well, I can't think of anything else right now besides the other, like the PAL Park, like I said. Like I said, they introduced that as a new way to transfer Pokemon from the Generation 3 games, which is actually pretty neat. Because then you can actually catch them all, since you only had the Sinnoh and Hoenn regions. God damn it. The Sinnoh and Johto regions this time to take Pokemon from. You somehow needed Pokemon from the Kanto and the Hoenn regions, which can only be obtained through the Generation 3 games, because they were starring Johto and they were starting Hoenn and Kanto. I had one other thing in mind, but now I forgot, and I'm gonna probably kick myself for not remembering, but whatever. So where does this game stack up on where it is and how it's done? Well, this is probably going to be a part that no Generation 4 fan is going to like. Because to me, where it hit me in my life, and I'm sorry for insulting any of you. Remember, this is just my opinion, not yours. You're feel free to love Generation 4 all you want. But for me, Generation 4 is pretty much literally the worst generation I've ever been through. It's like they ramped up the difficulties. And not only that, they ramped up the difficulty, the wide space you can move, and the slow pace you can do the game. It combined to be one of the worst experiences I ever had. And comparing that some of the gym leaders didn't have technical types because of lack of types, well, that's really Game Freak's own fault on their part. Yeah, well, like I said, Diamond and Pearl are my most hated games. And Generation 4 to me is the absolute worst. 7th place, basically. It's pretty much the bare bottom. Bare bottom. Because I absolutely hated it. Like I said, I'm sorry for Generation 4 fans, but I really didn't like your game. Even though it had my home region in it as remakes, still couldn't save it from being the worst. Sorry guys. I have to vent during that, because that was I don't know what they were thinking with these ones, to be honest. I mean, they were trying to make it good, but but either way, you found out the first 4 generations and what I think. Generation 1 is 6th place, Generation 2 is 4th place, Generation 3 is 3rd place, and Generation 4 is smack dab at the end in 7th place, being the worst games of Pokemon I've ever played. And I literally have to target specifically putting the worst versions of that generation at the way bottom, Diamond and Pearl. There were improvements in Platinum, but still was the Sinnoh region, and I still didn't like it, and I still had bad feelings of it, so it just remains just barely above Diamond and Pearl, with the remakes of Generation 2 being surprisingly higher. Because, you know, they're my home region, Generation 2. But at the same time, I still don't think Generation 2 is the best games. No. There were still 3 generations we have to run through. 5, 6, and 7. Well, what did you think of that? If you liked the video, if you like and agree, leave a comment. And if you don't, tell me why Generation 4 is absolutely better in the comments below. But don't try to force upon me, because that's just gonna be... Because I'll just pretty much not respond in a well way. Like and subscribe and make sure to share. And make sure you hit the bell so you can get more videos. And when I drop them, basically. Well, next time will be Generation 5 in the Unova region. So until next time, have a good one.